Welcome to Healing Powers TV. I'm your host, Laura Powers, and I'm pleased today to have Susan Kimball. She is a nutritionist and holistic health counselor, and I asked Susan to be on the show to talk about how we can all eat better and just some general information that will help us when we're thinking about food. So thanks for being on the show today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
So what is one great thing that people can do that's easy that can help them have better health through their diet and nutrition?
Well, I truly feel that people do not get enough fruits and vegetables in their diet.
Mm-hmm.
And most people think, and this was many years ago, where it was said you need to have 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. They've changed it. It's now 7 to 13. So that's an average of 10 servings of fruits and veggies every day. So that's double what people think. And a lot of people aren't even getting the 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. So, and that baseline nutrition is just so important. It can keep your body more alkaline, which can help reduce inflammation, ward off disease, all of those kinds of things. And kids is really where it starts. There are amazing statistics out there about our kids. 1 in 3 kids born in 2000 are predicted to have diabetes, and that's really sad. About 1 in 3 are overweight or obese. So there's we really need to start with our kids and getting those fruits and veggies in them, and and the adults are where it starts. So that's so key, I think, to really getting that baseline nutrition.
Okay, and tell me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that a lot of our nutrients come from fruit and vegetables.
Absolutely.
Is that right? Okay.
Oh yeah, the fruits and vegetables are filled with phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals. An apple has about 10,000 phytonutrients in it. So, you might think you need vitamin A or iron or this or that, but if you eat a good, really wide variety of, and I would say, vine-ripened organic fruits and vegetables, then you're going to get the vitamins and minerals that you need.
And why is organic important?
Yeah, organic is important for a few reasons. One, you want to keep pesticides, chemicals, toxins out of your body. Mm-hmm. That's just, it's a given. But also organic, actually the nutrients in the organic produce, the vitamins, minerals, and so on, are better. And some studies show maybe 50% better than what you're getting in the non-organic. So, you're thinking when you're eating a strawberry, oh, this is really good and healthy. But a strawberry is one of the fruits and veggies on the worst 15 list for the most pesticides. So with all those chemicals, you're just so better off having the organic version.
I didn't realize that. So I knew there was lots of reasons to eat organic, but I didn't realize that non-organic produce actually has less nutrients. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Okay. Good to know. So I understand one of your areas of specialty is looking at the connection between emotions and food and diet. So I think a lot of people are under the impression that, if they have, an issue, that it's just their lack of willpower or something. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about that.
Right. A lot of people will say it's all about willpower and deprivation. Mm-hmm. And I say diets don't work because diets are about willpower and deprivation. And if you lose weight and gain it back, it doesn't really work in the long term. Mm-hmm. So certainly you have to look at the food that you're eating, the exercise that you're doing. That's very important. But if you don't look at the other part, which I think is just as important, which is that emotional connection to food, then you're missing a big part of the story. So what that emotional connection means is if you're ever eating when you're not hungry, mm-hmm. then you're emotionally or compulsively eating. So if you're eating when you're stressed, lonely, or bored, those kinds of things, then you're not getting fulfillment in other areas of your life, so you're turning to food for comfort. And I work with people to get fulfillment in those other areas of life, what I call primary food. So that's spirituality, career, relationships, and movement or exercise. And when all of those areas of life are really rolling smoothly, going great, and you're getting fulfillment in those areas, you don't need to turn to food for comfort, and food becomes secondary and more of a fuel, and not that thing that you put in your body to try and make you feel better, because you're not happy in those other areas of life. So that's really huge. And some of the examples, I had a client that wanted to give back to the community. And so we worked with him to be able to become an advocate in the court system. And that was part of his spirituality. And that gave him such joy that he didn't need to turn to food for comfort instead. So I think that's just a really important aspect that a lot of other nutritionists and diets and people that are on diets don't realize.
So how do you sort of get at those core issues? How do you figure out what it is that's really behind, the issue in terms of their diet and nutrition?
That's a great question, and everybody's different. Everybody is unique. So when I work with people, it is very customized. I have a certain program about getting them to eat better foods and that kind of thing. But what they have to work on, especially around the primary food, those other areas of life, is so different for everybody. Someone, I had one client that said they have no passion in life. So I asked, well, what brought you passion when you were younger? And she said, well, beadwork did. And so her first goal then was to clean off a table in her back room so that she was able to get beadwork done. And that's another, we work with really, smaller steps so that it doesn't feel like this huge change. So that first goal was clean the table off. The next goal was go out and get some supplies. So over time, she got into her beadwork, and and it really helped.
That's great. Yeah, because everything is connected, of course. There's nothing that's really isolated and doesn't affect other areas of our life.
Right.
One thing that I know there's a challenge for me, and I think is a challenge for a lot of Americans, is how to eat well when you're away from your home all day. I think it's easier to eat well when you're at home and can cook, things. But how do you eat well sort of on the road?
That's another good question, and I get that one a lot. It can be tough, but it doesn't have to be tough. The biggest thing is preparation. And so, for example, I had one client that just said, I just don't have time to make brown rice. I'll have clients make a big batch of brown rice on Sunday, and they've got brown rice to eat all throughout the week. So you don't have to take an hour every night to make brown rice.
Right.
So it's that preparation. But she said, I just can't, I have no time to make it. But she made her husband breakfast every Sunday morning. So I said, how about making brown rice Sunday morning while you're making breakfast for your husband? And she just didn't think of that, because you don't make brown rice for breakfast usually.
Right.
And so, she said, oh wow, yeah, that's great, that'll work. So it's really, it's just helping people work within their schedules, their lives, and preparing so that they can, make that happen. So when you say on the road, there it would be things like always have, a baggie of almonds, raw almonds, for example, in your car, in your desk, in your purse, so that if you ever get really hungry, that is a great snack that takes away, the hunger very quickly and easily. And it's a very healthy snack. So those kinds of things, depending on what the person's schedule is, can make all the difference, as well as just information around what are the best choices when you're going out to eat.
Yeah.
Whether it's, places like Chipotle or other restaurants. And one really great tip there is to look up the restaurant menu online before you go. Decide what you're going to have, so that when you get there, you're not tempted to have something else. You've already got it, planned out in your mind. And then you have that healthier meal when you get there. So there's lots of little tips like that can be really helpful for eating out and eating on the road.
Great, yeah, because I think sometimes even just a little bit of planning in advance can make a huge difference in what you're eating.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, are there any other, easy tips that you can give to our audience that can help them just in their general health and nutrition?
Well, one is always on the water. Drink plenty of water, and I recommend half your body weight in ounces of water per day. That's a great place to start. And really, focus on whole foods versus processed foods. So if you have a choice, Just always go for that whole food. Go for that orange instead of the orange juice. Go for brown rice instead of the more processed white rice, those kinds of things. So just if you always keep that in mind. As well as I really also like, many people are visual. So when you visualize a plate, visualize it as half non-starchy veggies, a quarter starch, a quarter protein. And those amounts are...
yeah, that's really nice too.
Yeah, it's about the size of the palm of your hand you typically both the meat and the meat and the starch, and that's a great rule of thumb.
Well, we mentioned already that conventional fruits and vegetables, so they're not organic, have less nutrients. But in general, I've heard that a lot of our produce, whether it's organic or conventional, has less nutrients now than it did a long time ago. So how can people make sure that they're getting the nutrition that they need, the nutrients that they need out of their diet?
Yeah, and a lot of people will say, oh yeah, I eat plenty of fruits and vegetables, and they think that that's going to be enough. You really need a very wide variety of good high quality fruits, vegetables, organic, berries, those kind of things. Get your antioxidants. And I take a really great supplement that is really just fruits and veggies and helps you to get that in your body when you don't get enough during the day. So if you're not getting your 10 servings of fruits and vegetables, it's a great way to make sure that you get that in your body. So focus on organic, a wide variety, and if you can't, it's great to take a supplement that gives you all the fruits and veggies that you need.
Great, that's perfect. Well, thanks so much for being on the show. And if people have questions or want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
You can call me, 303-748-2521, or email me at susan@balancedhc.com. And my website is balancedhc.com, and that's BALANCED, HC as in health counseling.com.
Great. And if you want more information on Healing Powers TV, podcast, events, and more, you can go to www.healingpowers.net. Thanks so much for watching.